Alright, so this is intended as a tutorial on the basics of the DADGAD tuning on guitar. So this is now my third attempt. I never get phone calls on this phone. I use it to try to film something, and I got 3 phone calls. Keep getting interrupted. So, anyway. DADGAD, real quick, why is it called DADGAD? It's referring to the notes that each string has, right? So standard tuning is E, A, D, G, B, E from top to bottom. DADGAD is like drop D on the top, D, A, D, then there's the G still, bam. But these 2 strings got dropped down 1 full step to make an A and a D. So from the top down it spells DADGAD, D-A-D-G-A-D, right? Okay. This is what it sounds like if you play it open, just D-A-D-G-A-D. So if you turn that G, which is the only kind of sourish note in that chord, into an A by hitting it on the 2nd fret right here, it is now D-A-D-A-A-D. These 2 notes are the same. That's a pretty strong chord. That's like all fifths, right? Or the 5th interval between the D and the A. So that also makes it so it is ambiguous for major, minor, right? It's not major, it's not minor, it's all fifths, right? So if you want to add in that major and minor, you can do that by adding a 3rd step, which you can do on any of these D strings, right? So if you want to do a minor, you hit the 3rd fret on this D string. It's got that kind of crazy cool Western minor sound. And if you want to do a major, of course, you just elevate that pitch by 1/2 step by going up to the 4th fret, making it a major. There you go. Nice happy sound. Cool thing about DADGAD is that you can pretty much leave these bottom 2 or 3 strings open while you're playing it's just forgiving because they're like always in key if you're playing in D or a complementary key like A, right? So I'll show you what I mean. A lot of guitarists love drop D, which is essentially these 3 strings up top, because you can play all over the fingerboard, right? And I mean, just listen to anything from Pantera to Lamb of God or whatever. I mean, drop D is sort of the staple of, you know, metal riffs. You know, you could do that all day long. But on acoustic guitar, it gives it this kind of weird, like, outlaw country feel, which is why I like it. If you do the drop D, like, right, and just stay on those 3 strings, you can do that all day long. But the cool thing about DADGAD is that if you hit the rest of the strings on those same things, you can do. But if you use all the rest of the strings, you go, right? And that has this really neat kind of just open tuning feel to it. But it also, and the reason why I originally started playing in DADGAD is that it also kind of makes you sound better than you are, right? You just, right? So as long as you stay in frets that are part of the D scale and just leave those bottom strings open, it just brings a fullness. And people who don't know how to play guitar are like, whoa, dude, that was totally rad, right? Well, I mean, here in California, that's what they sound like. Anyway, so that's if you're playing in, you know, just using the drop D and then leaving those strings open. So we're gonna pretty much leave it at that for now, because you should just experiment with that. It's pretty neat, you know. Take whatever riff that you have in drop D. I mentioned Pantera, there's 5 minutes alone, right? And like experiment with it, just using those strings. Remember, when you're playing the open chord, you don't ever just go open like that, because that sounds stupid. So if you're ever going to go back down, hit that G string on the 2nd fret. That's your home when you're in DADGAD. That is where you always go back to. If you want to play it, if you're playing up here, Your upstairs home is here, right? Is that your 7th fret, I think? 3rd dot, whatever, call it what you will, because that is a D. Here's A, here's D, right? So if you want to play up here, it's either that or down here. Same chord, it's just what it's doing is it's eliminating that sour note. And that's going to be the next lesson, and I'll give you a preview, because you can actually use that string by itself while playing an open D to make some pretty cool tunes. So for now, just, you know, see, that's a Pantera riff on an acoustic guitar. It's kind of weird, and although I did play it just a little bit sloppy right now, fine, you're gonna sound sloppy too, dude. Go for it. Doesn't matter, okay? Just learn it. Stay on these top 3 strings and find out the chords that are sounding pretty nice. Those first 2 dots, the 3rd and 5th fret, sound great in DADGAD. See where I'm always landing back there? Okay, so there's that. Just play with it. Have fun. Now, the next lesson, preview, or whatever you want to call it, is I saw a guy online doing this the other day, and he had like 25,000 comments and likes and all kinds of stuff about how badass he looked. But all he was doing was just making a tune on the G string using the D scale and keeping the rest of things open. This is what he was doing. He's going... He just identified what notes work on the 1 G string and just started going all over it. And people were eating it up because, again, that's DADGAD. It makes you sound better than you are. And my lazy teenage ass found it and was like, holy crap, I just graduated to the next level without even trying. Just figure it out. Now, I know how to play in DADGAD better than standard these days because of that. I just kind of made DADGAD my home, and now I've really started to figure out some next level things that make it as complicated, but it just sounds better than standard for the kind of music I play. So the next lesson is talking about what we can do on that the G string right there, and then we're going to graduate to what you can do using both, right? So you can use that G string to be a major or minor in almost any key, right? So A major, A minor, G major, minor, right? And it's just taking the D things and combining the 2. So that's where we're going with this. Anyway, there you go. I'll take you out with a jam that I guess shows the full potential of what I can do with DADGAD.